Did you know that the average English speaker uses around 20,000 words in their everyday conversations, but over 90% of these conversations rely on just a few hundred common phrases? Now, imagine if you could use those phrases to add a splash of excitement and humor to your conversations. Today, we're going to explore how to do just that. Grab a pen and paper because by the end of this episode, you'll be ready to infuse your daily chatter with phrases that make your English pop and sparkle. Before we jump into examples, let's chat about why phrases are so cool. Phrases can transform ordinary sentences into something colorful and engaging. They add flavor, humor, and emphasis, making our conversations and writing more lively and relatable. Think of phrases as the seasoning in your language recipe. Without them, things might be a bit bland. In the kitchen. Let's start with something we all do, cooking. Ever heard someone say they're in a pickle? No, it doesn't mean they're actually stuck in a jar of pickles. It means they're in a tricky situation. So, if you're struggling with a recipe, you might say, "I'm in a bit of a pickle with this recipe." And what about cutting corners? No, it doesn't mean you're literally cutting corners of your kitchen counters. It means you're doing something in the easiest or quickest way, often at the expense of quality. If you're trying to make a meal in a hurry, you might end up cutting corners. At work or school. Ever feel like you're burning the midnight oil? This phrase means you're staying up late to work on something. If you're cramming for an exam or finishing a project, you might be burning the midnight oil. Another classic is to hit the nail on the head. This means to be exactly right about something. So, if you've nailed down the perfect solution to a problem, you've hit the nail on the head. Social situations. Let's talk about social gatherings. Have you ever let the cat out of the bag? Not literally letting a cat escape, but rather accidentally revealing a secret. So, if you spoiled the surprise party plans, you might have let the cat out of the bag. And if you're ever walking on air, it means you're feeling extremely happy. So, if you just got some great news, you might be walking on air. Dealing with challenges. What about when things aren't going your way? You might be back to square one, meaning you have to start over. If a plan falls through, you're back to square one. And if you're facing a tough situation but you're determined to keep going, you might say you're keeping your chin up. This means staying positive despite difficulties. In conversations. When someone's being overly dramatic, you might say they're making a mountain out of a molehill. It means they're exaggerating a small problem into something huge. So, if a friend is overreacting about a minor issue, they're making a mountain out of a molehill. If someone is in the same boat as you, it means you're both experiencing the same situation or problem. So, if you and a colleague are both overwhelmed with work, you're in the same boat. Fun ways to use phrases. Let's get creative with how we use these phrases in our daily lives. Here are some fun ways to practice. Phrase challenge. Try using a new phrase each day in your conversations. Challenge yourself to work phrases like "in hot water" or "bite the bullet" into your daily chats. It's a fun way to expand your vocabulary and make your speech more colorful. Phrase of the day journal. Keep a journal of your favorite phrases and use them throughout the week. Write down the phrase, its meaning, and a sentence using it. Review your journal regularly to see how you're incorporating new phrases into your language. Phrase conversations. Have a conversation with a friend where you both agree to use as many phrases as possible. See who can use the most phrases naturally in a single conversation. It's a fun way to practice and learn new phrases together. Common mistakes and how to avoid them. While phrases are fun, it's easy to make mistakes. Here's how to avoid some common pitfalls. Overusing phrases. Using too many phrases can make your speech sound forced or unnatural. Try to use phrases in moderation and let them enhance your conversation rather than dominate it. Misunderstanding meanings. Make sure you understand the meaning and context of a phrase before using it. Using a phrase incorrectly can lead to confusion or awkward situations. If in doubt, double-check the meaning and usage. Cultural sensitivity. Be aware of cultural differences when using phrases. Some phrases might not translate well across cultures or could be interpreted differently. Always consider your audience and the context in which you're using a phrase. Conclusion. As we wrap up today's episode, let's remember that phrases are powerful tools that can make our language more vibrant and engaging. From cooking to social situations, phrases help us express ourselves with flair and creativity. Call to action. I challenge you to start using more phrases in your daily life. Try out some of the ones we've talked about today and see how they can add color to your conversations. Share your favorite phrases with us in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for tuning in to English Earbuds. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a review. I'd love to hear how you're using phrases to brighten up your English. Until next time, keep having fun with your language and remember, life's too short to be boring.
If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos, and support our channel.